Well, hello. Now we have got a scarlet rose, but before anything, we need to say hello to Julie, who is in the studio. Hello, Julie.
Hello there.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good, good. Now, also, before I'm going to introduce the first item that we are going to have a look, I want to remind you that we are still on the 5 days of Christmas of hochanda. So you may have, maybe you spent something yesterday at hochanda. You may have, then you have £5 to spend today in any purchases above £30. Now, maybe you want to go for one of the brand new items that we have got here for you. Now, what you have got in the screen is a pick and mix, and that means that you choose out of these 3 elements, you choose your 2. And maybe you are a Scarlet Rose fan, so you already have got the pearly pages, which is exactly what you're seeing in here. It is an incredible system that allows you to make those beautiful ornate books with ease and precision in different sizes and in different, maybe the straight edges as well as the scallops. But also you can see the straight edges, and it has got the markings in here, which is very hard to see, I know, but there are. And that is where you put the spines. So the spines are separate, so then you can pick and choose where you put. Look, you can see there. Now, you have got in the pearly pages that one as well as the scallops. So you can see 2 sizes of the scallops. And again, you have got the space for those spines with the trellis. Now that is, I remember, the innovation that the Scarlet Rose brought, one of the first products that it brought to the market in dye form. Now, you may not have it, so therefore this might be one of your choices. Or maybe you have it and you want one of the brand new today's. The one that you're seeing now is the beautiful, elegant scrolls. Look at that beautiful spine with a scroll. Now that will work with the pearly pages. Then you have got the pockets in there, which are part of that gorgeous, elegant scroll. See how it coordinates perfectly. That is not only a pocket, as you can see, but also it converts itself into a clever easel. So then, if you have got your pearly pages with the beautiful scrolls, with the pocket in here, with a beautiful center panel, but it's also an easel. Then, if you want to, you can create a Christmas tree. Look at that. Now this is incredibly versatile. So this is one of your options, the elegant scroll, or you might want to put the other brand new today in your pick and mix, which is the tumbling leaves. Now this is one of my favorites, I think, because look at that. You have got a dragonfly, you have got a bird, you have got a flower there, and you have got these gorgeous pockets. So you can put, maybe a tag as well that is included. Look, and then you can put pictures, and of course you can create that book. Think about maybe sending this as a memory album. Maybe you have got great memories from a holiday you made, or maybe somebody who needs a little bit of words of inspiration, maybe something aspirational. You can put them in here in the front with those beautiful pockets, and maybe the personalized message, maybe a few words inside it. Now this is a pick and mix, so maybe you want the pearly pages and the elegant scrolls, or the brand new today elegant scrolls and the tumbling leaves. Is your choice. £23.98 for £93.98 for the glorious, beautiful metal dies. Now it is and why not deal, and then you will think, what is that? Well, here at hochanda we have got freedom, so you pay £6.97 per month, and therefore you do not pay PMP on any purchases. But also it means that in certain items like this one, you get a further discount. So in this case, if you're not a Freedom member and you want to go for this item, please do become a Freedom member, because you will save more money by becoming a Freedom member first than you would if you didn't become a Freedom member. Now, if you are a Freedom member, you are just paying, £80, £84 and 58 pence. You still have got a FlexiBuy option, whichever one you go. And of course, if you're not a Freedom member, £46 and 48 pence. Or if you are not, if you are a Freedom member, you pay even less than that. 168005 is your item number. Right. Now, I need to mention as well that they are available individually. However, and I should have mentioned this before, if you go for the pick and mix, you are getting the extra large box board. Now this is such a really clever design because you are getting already that finger lift elements in here, and then you can score it to different sizes to create boxes. Now these boxes are designed so you can put a photo. You can decorate them with your pockets in here. You can put, of course, if you wanted to, you can put inside your pearly pages. So there is so many ways of using, and that is available as well on its own. So if you wanted to go for the box board on its own, well, you can do that. But if you go for the pick and mix, you will get that included without having to pay £12.99, which is the value of the pearly pages box board. Right. So if you want to use the box board, the details are at the bottom of the screen, and you can see that it makes 12 boxes, and of course different sizes in terms of how deep you make them. Right, moving on to fancy pages. Now we have got here, first you are looking at the roses, I believe that's the one. Now it is beautiful, it's a rose fancy. Now this is incredible because it has got so much detail in them. Now you can see it here, that's the one that creates that. And look at all the roses. Think about paper piecing, think about putting glitter papers before. It is incredibly beautiful. £19.99, 249946 is your item number. Then we have got this one, let's put it like that, because that one is the butterfly that features those gorgeous butterflies, and then you can create it like that. So that one is the butterfly fancy open book die that coordinates perfectly with the pearly pages. £19.99 is the price. 278424 is your item number. Then we have got a bundle of printed card beautifully, and it's very clever because Julie was telling me how they have been designed to make sure that they work perfectly with the pearly pages and the fancy and the pockets as well. Why? Because they have been designed an A4 but horizontally, so when you put the die in here you can have perfectly 2 pages in which everything is incredibly decorative and beautiful. Now yours won't come to you with a ring bound, it will come with a like kind of those how you call it, the spine that is glue, yeah, a glue bind, glue, so you can just take whichever one you want, so you don't have the ugly the ugly holes. But this is so we can show you exactly every page perfectly. Look how gorgeous, how beautiful all these elements, how much detail is in them, how much the colors are perfect for those vintagely inspired books. And look at that, I mean, even just tiny pieces in here. Imagine maybe decoupaging some of them. Now you're getting the classic card pack. You're getting 5 different designs, and then you are getting, I think, how many of each? Is it 20 sheets? 4 of each, exactly, perfect. So then we have got, and they are 240 GSM, which is a cardstock thickness, which is, printed paper or printed card is kind of hard to find. Now here also you are getting in here the Nicolina A6 stamp sheet. Now this is grey rubber, so I'm going to put it here so you can see it. Look at that, so you can see all the elements, and of course you can trim them around if you wanted to. Maybe you want to put grey foam, the one that you can clean foam mount on the back, so you make sure that you have got perfect positioning. Also you are getting in here, I'll put it here against my jacket so you can see it there against my hair. Sometimes black does help. You can see that you are also getting the classic, the beautiful heart insert. Now this is perfect for piercing, but also to create the perfect positioning for your pearls. Maybe look at that. So you can create something like that. So it's the perfect, and of course with the little elements as well in there. Now, if you want to go for this bundle that allows you to create the beautiful papers as well. Well, I say paper, but it says card, and I want to reiterate, 240 GSM, it is card, but it still die cuts beautifully. £29.98 is the price, making a saving of £10, 281,780. And then finally, we have got 2 items that we want to show you. And of course, just quickly mention, you have got here the Noel Christmas Diamond Trails plate, and kind of just tilt it there so you can see it perfect. And this is where this is the insert area. So if you have gone for the previous elements bundle, and you have got also the possibility to put it here, and that helps to have the outside edge as well. £18.99 is the price. And then we have got one more option for you, which actually I need to mention that it's a price of 2, and you are getting the 3 of them. So here you're getting the snowman, the snowflakes, and the house for £14.99. So the item number is 347561, and look at the saving of £7.51, which means that you're paying for 2, but you are getting 3 of them. And then you could be creating something as beautiful. Let me show you. Oh, can I show you a couple of samples? Because otherwise, look at that. So it's a gingerbread house, and look at the snowman here. So it's a guide to put the pearls, but it could be for stitching. It's so useful, these plates. So we tried to do the counter as fast as we could. So let's join Julie. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Go.
and go. We had a very busy show this morning. Yeah. So we'll go over everything again this afternoon in case you missed it while you were doing your Sunday dinner. And now you're relaxing and you can sit back and watch what we do. So, pearly pages. It's a set of 14 different dies, and from those dies that start off like this, you end up like that. And with the samples that Paola's already showed you, and lots that I've got to show you after, your creativity will just go wild. So as you can see, it's quite a substantial and quite firm die. What you will do, take your A4 sheet of paper, pop it on your sheet, send it through your machine, and you end up with your first size page. And it's up to you whether you start with the large or the medium or any combination really. So keep this, because that's what you'll nip your spine out of. It's just wide enough to get your spine, so there's no waste. Pop those out the way. And what you'll do, as Paola mentioned before, you've got 2 little embossing lines that come out onto your page, which you'll see when you're close up. Choose which one you want to be your back page, choose a spine to match that lays end to end. Now tape it down and send it through your machine, and you will end up with your first page. The pages that you're going to layer on top, if I just bring this one in for you now, whichever one it is, you want to achieve an open spine, because when they layer you don't want to be seeing a bar. So what you'll do is take your spine again, and if you notice there are little slots, and those are to help you line up. So you'll lay it across your page, and you'll make sure that one of those slots, whether it's the first one or the second one, depending on how small the page you're using, you will see through onto your work surface below. And what that's doing, it's cutting it. When you send it out, it's not putting your bar in. But don't worry, if you make a mistake and you do end up putting the small one on and you get your bar, don't worry, just snip the bar out. We've all done it, I know I have. But it just makes it quicker for you if you use the correct spine and the slot. It's all in one. So then you just start to assemble. Now I'm going to assemble them all, but I mean you can do any combination of pages, all straight, all scallop, or a mixture of everything. So we start to lay it over the top like that, and as you can see straight through. And pop that one on there like that, and again like that. And as you can see, we're just building these up. Now you can leave them flat, or you can roll them over a rolling pin or a bottle, or run it over the edge of your table, which will give you a nice curve. So there we are with our basic building blocks of a card. So what you'll do now is you'll take your spine and your wire, send them through, because you've done it in page on these. You'll take your spine and your wire together, send it through, and it will give you a solid spine. And all you do then is layer it over the top. And as you can see straight through those holes to the desk underneath, which is lovely if you wanted to wire, you get the paper flowers with the wires on, you could wire through, you could run ribbons through. If you wanted to, you could put a solid behind although I've done white on white, which is not a very good choice there, but you can imagine with a different colour behind, you've put a back to it. You could put a spine on the back as well, if you wish. As I say, how you put these together is entirely up to you. So what you've also got is we've got a layering set of ovals. Okay, any combination, you could pop those together there. And what I have done, and one of the samples over there, which I'll show you in a moment, is I've taken, come here, get your fingers out, there we go. I've taken and snipped the oval out and given myself a scallop frame. So I've achieved two things out of one there. We've also got the corners, again, on your corner there, or on your corner there. You can flip them over and pop them all the way round, or what I've also done before is I've nipped off there and I've laid them down the middle, two, end to end, and made a border down my spine. Keep your bits and put those in the corner. So
there's a lot.
Yes, there's a lot you can do with this book. All you're held back by is your imagination and your creativity. I mean, there's lots we can do with this. I mean, even the spine alone. Let's say a gatefold card, that fits exactly on that side of an A4 made into a gatefold. So you've now made a beautiful trellis. I mean, imagine that with roses trailing up the front and leaves and ribbon. You've got it. Yeah. And again, we've got the same here. Just one little trellis there. Just one, and then you've got your main feature on the back. You could put acetate behind there and have a half acetate car. I mean, really, when you start playing with these, what seems to, oh, it's just a book. Yeah, it's just a book, but it's not just a book. It's much, much more than that.
Have you ever done actually a book where there is like the proper pages inside it?
Yes, you just took my eye. I was just going to get to that one for you. If I show you this one quickly first, it's all about time as well, because sometimes we sit and we do several in a night. I've got nothing else to do. I'm going to run them through, but I haven't got time to put those books together. Just pinch one of your pages out, score it down the middle, fold it over and glue, and now you've got just a simple one-page card. And if you look, that's what I said, that's my border. Yeah. And I've snipped it and put it down the side, and the bits that I snipped off, I'll put in and made a corner. So use everything. And like Paola said, if you don't want to do an open book, how about doing a traditional, what you would call a traditional book? And all we've done with that, on the inner pages, sliced down the trellis, lay it over the top so they become smaller. And now we've gone in and made it like, I mean, I've got some Christmas ones to show you after. They are amazing, that go with the pockets. So, of course, now, if this was a baby book or a wedding book, you could be putting photographs in there of the bride and groom, or an anniversary, birthdays. 21, from birth to 21 in their books, and that's what they keep. These are things that you are going to keep. You know, I mean, these would get put away. You could make a library, couldn't you? I mean, if I show you these samples here, let's start with the Christmas, because we have got a Christmas show. Just the plain straight pages. These were made out the strip that you left on the side. The tassels just do all your lots of little, I mean, Barbara did this, and she's got one of these pair of scissors. It's got lots and lots of blades, and you only cut it once and it cuts loads in one go. But you could just slice all the way along and roll. You've made your own tassels out the piece of card that was left down the side. These are just your plain. Put that over out the way. This is your Noel board that we've got on the show today. That's your little angel. Look past it being a Noel board, because we've done that as a fairy. The bells on there we've done as wedding anniversary. So look past what they actually, you know, it's a Noel board, and they're perfect to put on your books. I mean, the books are the perfect place to, all your crafts. I mean, you might have dies that I don't really want to make a folded card anymore. I'd like to put it somewhere else. A bit of watercolourist, and you've got a little bit of artwork that you want to give to somebody rather than just a little frame. Why don't you give it them
the
in
one
a
that
book?
Is special, for instance, that there are stamps that are fairies.
Yes,
and you can start write a story.
Exactly.
That would work so well.
A fairy on each page telling a story. You could write the verse on each page. Just as you say, all your crafts can come together on a page. That's what I was telling you earlier. Look, it's that scallop, but I nipped the oval out. So look past what they do. This is what we were saying. Here's your library. There's your wedding day, and there's the baby. Usually in that order, but not always.
9 months later, or, you know, 9 months earlier.
I put a solid spine on there, so that enabled me to drop the pearls within the holes. Whereas with this one, and I'll show you this one here, this is using our love wood, we put the pearls on the little crisscross section. Okay? But also, If you've got somebody who's into cookery or gardening or driving, atlases, cookbooks, gardening books. I showed a gardening one this morning. Now this is a cookbook.
Seed packets you could have behind
Seed packets, yeah, and keep that one in mind for when you do the pockets. Put a seed packet in the pocket as a gift, but we'll come to that one in a moment. So this is just a small selection of what you can do with these pages. So that's your plain pages.
Yeah.
So we can move on to the fancy pages, which you actually add into your die set of pages. Yeah. So I'll bring that onto the overhead so you can see it there. As you can see, that's a substantial piece of metal there. We could have done it with a frame, the spine and inserts, but we felt that you might send it through, one moves and it's all jiggered about and you've lost it. So we decided to do it all in one. However, you must treat it like three. Yeah. So depending on your machine, because every rollers are different. Indeed. I mean, my electric one's got quite a bit of grip to it, but some of the manual ones haven't. So you will send it through on your A4 card, obviously cut inside down. Send it through, you will find that it will probably have cut your frame and your trellis, but obviously the pressure is less as it goes through, leaving some of the areas uncut to start with. Then you use your easy shims, which we have not on the show but on the web, or any of your sandwiches that create more shims, and just work in and out on that side until you can lift them up. Because they're solid, you can reposition them, no problem. Once it's done, turn it round and send it through again. Mine was electric machine. I literally sent this one through yesterday, once, turned it over, once, and it was done. Yeah. But obviously some of the manual machines haven't got quite that pressure, so you just have to treat it as three. But again, with our samples, as you showed earlier on, you can snip them up. I mean, we've got 3 panels here. That's your rose one again.
That's the fancy pages.
Yeah, that's the fancy pages, yeah. You can snip your spine out if you don't want to get your machine again, so you've got spine spare. You can use either of those panels, pop it onto just a plain card on its own, so that's your panel on its own with all the other elements of your fancy pages. Or there it is, as you showed earlier on one of the other samples, done as a full book. And we've also got the butterfly as a full book. And again, there's that border, corner that I was telling you about. Snip it up, pop it down the centre, make it a border, snip out your butterflies and layer them on top. So that's your fancy pages and that's your main set.
That's fabulous. Now, we have had an email asking you, asking if you could explain the brand new 2 items, which are the pockets, which are the elegant scroll and the tumbling leaves.
Yes, I can briefly do that before we do our demos, because obviously we've got to change all the set round.
Right, so if you want to get ready for
I can do that. That might be easier if I do it that way, rather than jumping starts. I'll leave that one with you.
No, absolutely fine. Just get ready, of course, Julie. Now, we want to give you a reminder of what we have got for you from Scotland Rose. Now, we have got, you know, when you want to have something a bit different, something that is multidimensional, something that is incredibly pretty and gives you the ability to create books and memory albums, but more importantly, those open books. Maybe you have seen some on, on the social media and you're thinking, how do I make them? Well, Julie and Barbara worked out a way that is easy, that is beautiful, that is you can rely on. With the pearly pages now, we have got a pick and mix, and that means that you choose whichever 2. You may have got the pearly pages before and you already know how to create this, or it might be that today is the first time that you see them. So if it is the first time that you see them and you want them, you can choose the pearly pages and then add one of the pockets. Maybe you already have them and you want to have something that you can add to your collection of the pearly pages. Whichever way you look at it, you will have so much versatility, so many possibilities. Now, if you like a traditional, beautiful card, you can do that. Or also, if you want to bring your holographic card, by the way, Pink Frog Crafts is in the building today, so, that holographic card is amazing. You can do those pages in here. You can add those pockets. And then, of course, you have got the pockets to put things, but you do not have to do that if you don't want to. You can put tags. Imagine here. Imagine those pockets with little, tags in here. Now, those tags are included in the bundle. Now, if you go for this pick and mix, you have got another thing, because you are getting a free gift. You are not paying for a set of 10 boxes. The material, well, actually, they come to you flat pack, and then you can assemble it however, in different ways. Now you have got here, they already come pre-punched, so it's perfect. The only thing that you need to do is follow the instructions on how to score them, and it does explain you how to score them in order for you to create a box like this. Now you might want to go for the tumbling leaves, and then you can create this perfect box. You can see in here the depth of it, or you may want to go for this one in here, which is slightly bigger but a little bit thinner. So you have got all this ability to do this, or maybe you want to go for the tumbling leaves. Remember, is your choice of. So if you do not have the pearly pages, I strongly recommend to go for the pearly pages, and then whichever is your favorite of the pockets. If you have got the pearly pages, then go for the scroll and the beautiful tumbling leaves, because then you will be able to do books like this. The fact of these kits is that you are getting so many big dies. You can see my size against my hand. They are not tiny dies, are they? There's a lot of metal. You are getting the solid, you're getting the beautiful delicate line, you're getting the tag with that intricate leaves in here, and that spine that will work perfectly for the pearly pages. Then we have got, you can see here, the perfect center. Now I love my books, I love bookmarks. They make perfect bookmarks in here. Think about maybe Christmas and you want to send a card with a gift inside. Maybe you are thinking, I cannot spend Christmas with whoever, because we don't know, it's uncertain times. Maybe put a gift card in there. And then of course you have got a pocket with a sentiment. Maybe put a picture in here of a Christmas, and then write the message underneath it. This is from Scatler Rose, is the Pearly Pages pick and mix, whether you want to go for the Pearly Pages base or of the pockets. It's up to you. Also, I need to mention that if you are not a Freedom member, this has a why not deal on it. It means that if you are not a Freedom member, become one. It costs you £6.97. You can opt out at any time. But what it means is that for 1 month, you will not pay PMP on any purchases that you do at Hochanda. But also, it means that, for instance, in this item, you have got a discount that is bigger than the price of the Hochanda membership. So why not become a member? 168 005 is your item number, and you can flexify it. So today you will only pay £42.29. Maybe you spent something yesterday, and then of course a part of 5 days of Christmas, you have got a £5 voucher to spend today that you could use against even on FlexiBuy. Now, you may want to go for the fancy pages that Julie showed. Well, we have got 2 options for you. You have the beautiful rose fancy, which you can see in here. I'm going to show you the die cuts because you can see, and that is the rose. Look, I'm going to put look at that gorgeous rose in here. Now, if you want to go for the rose, your item number is 249946, and your price £19.99. It's a lot of metal for that price, I'll tell you, because it's incredible amount of detail. And then if I'll put it there that way, you can see it. And this one is the other option, which is butterfly fancy, which the details at the bottom of the screen. 278424, £19.99. Now, very, very quickly mention the paper. Well, it's not paper, it's card, because it's 240 GSMs. I can keep calling it paper because it's patterned. So usually, well, very rarely you see card printed, and this is fabulous because you want 240 GSM printed paper cards, because you want the beautiful patterns, but you want the thickness, you want double-sidedness. You have got 5 designs, and you are getting 4 sheets of each, 20 in total. And you are also getting a stamp plate, A6 stamp set with the classic heart insert plate as well. So this bundle is phenomenal. You are getting that, and of course you are getting the amazing rubber stamp. £29.98 with a saving of £10. Your item number is 281780. And with this, we are joining Julie for the next demonstration.
Right, so we've showed you your plain we say plain, but they're
Yeah,
much more than
yeah.
just plain. But we've got your basic pages sets, because we knew that when we designed these, that further down the line we would be adding additions. So we brought in the fancy pages first, and then we brought the pockets. But they are more than pockets, like I've just showed you with everything else. If I hold up a couple of boards just to show you, the demos that I'm going to be doing is all on the scroll, but the tumbling leaves, or I think they look like nice silhouettes, work exactly the same. But what you'll get is you'll get a frame to cut out a solid section, you'll get your open die to cut your fancy piece, which you can put over the top and back it or use on its own. But if you send them through together and tape them, because they've both got cutting edges on, you achieve a little frame. Now that little bit of frame there will edge again in a different colour on one of your pockets. You've got your wire to give you the solid and your open spines, two sizes again. We've got a left and a right. We've got the wire to give you your tag. You've got the solid to give you your fancy, but again, put them both through together, you achieve a frame. The same with the butterflies, you get your solids, you get your fancy butterfly, but tape them together, send them through together, and you achieve a frame as well. We've also got the words here. Again, that's your solid to sit underneath. That's your word actually on its own, but send them through together and you'll achieve that like negative, I don't know whether you call it a negative or a positive of the word, but keep your little paper pieces though, because you would need to hold on to that one and that one to remake your I and your E. Same with the love, you've got your solid on a wire, you've got your actual die for the word, send them through together and you get your frame, just paper piece your O back in. You've got your wire for your flower. You've got your solid flower, which when you've cut it, splits into 3.
Wow.
So you've now got 4. Then send them through again and you'll get those 3 and a frame.
Wow.
The same with this. You've got your wire to give you your solid, you've got your actual flower, send them through together and you get your frame. So you're getting 3 dies out of the 2, if that makes sense. So we'll pop that one down there, over there out the way. And now this is the same. So the same principle again. We've got our wires, our solids, both together give you your frames. You've got the 2 sizes of spine. We do the same with the tags, and say left and right on your pockets. The same with the tags, together gives you your frames. You've got your beautiful swallow there. So you've got your solid this is quite filigree, so we pop him on top to bring him forward. It can be used on its own, like the tag that you showed with that Christmas tree. It was just him on his own. Or you've got the frame. And again with the words, like we said, with the frame, without the frame, and together. The same with the dragonfly and the flower. But this actually isn't a die. This is the paper pieces that have fallen out the spines. Don't waste them. Keep those and gather those in a little packet because they're the sprigs behind your flowers. So even though it's waste, it's not waste. So you're getting more out of your dies than you first see. So there's several ways of popping these together. You'll have cut your pages out with your main set as normal. I'll show you with the open one first. So you take your page, and as I showed you before, this is the smaller spine, so you've gone edge to edge if you want that to be your back page. Then cut out your die piece here, which is your curly one, swirly one. We've called this all sorts of names. I keep saying flourish, Mum keeps saying it's curls. So you notice we've got tabs on there. They're there to use or not use, so it depends how you want to attach as to which ones you leave on and which ones you take off. But for this one, scored between the marks there and there, bend them ready. Now I use double-sided tape. You can use wet glue, but wet glue is good for the spines because as it dries it goes very solid. Mm-hmm. You might not want that on the edge of your page. Yeah. So I personally use double-sided tape or a red liner tape because it's quick and it's still flexible. So to attach, now this is wrapping it round. You slide it up to the spine that you've marked and scored and folded in, okay? And just flip him over like that. And as you can see, I tend to go the bottom up first and stick down. It overhangs slightly so you're sticking to itself and the page and stick down. And when you come back, we've got our first pocket. And here we go. So we go both sides. You've got your tags to pop in. You've got your spine to go over the top.
Yeah.
You can have it as see-through. You can put something behind it to show through a different colour. Or if you have a little play, because you've got wiggle room on this, move it down slightly and you get a little bit of a drop shadow. So you can do a 2-colour spine. Again, play with these. I've showed you it wrapped round the card, but if you wanted to, you could actually stick it on top of the card, like that. So it sits on the page, and what that does, that brings the pocket even more forward. So if you've got a money wallet, which is probably a bit thicker than a thin tag, then you've got that extra bit of room to bring it forward. So it's either round the page or on the page. Pretty simple, really. So that's our first one.
So much you can do with them.
There is. I mean, our brains, we designed it one way, and then when it came and we were playing, and we thought, oh, you can do this, and you can do this, and you can do this. It's wonderful. So let's move on to putting a backing on. Again, what you would do is you take your frame die that cuts out your main solid, score it and fold it, and again you make your choice there, like I said, up to the spine, flip him over, stick it up, or you can put it onto, and that just gives you a little bit more depth to put, as we said, money wallets. For this occasion I've took both of the tabs off there. Let's get that out of the way from underneath. And you can just layer that over the top. Again with wiggle room, if I straighten it up for the camera better. There we go. With wiggle room, we can go to the corner and leave a big space. And remember me telling you about the wire that cuts out? That's when you can layer your wire over the top. So now you've created another accent on the edges. I would just nip off there, and then snip and take that straight bit and pop it back on again. Or, let's get him out the way there. We can adjust it and go further forward and then just put the straight pieces down the side, or just leave as is. I mean, it's entirely up to you how you play and how you pop these things together. As I say, I've lost my little tag, so I'll use these and put these in there like that. So we've now got a solid section. I've stuck that to that, but I could have left that open, and then I would have had another one, like I'd have had 2 layers to put the tabs in. So we keep saying, but play. You'll think you're going to make a card one way, and then as it's evolving, you'll put a bit of this or you'll take a bit of that. They're made to fit to the medium size of your pearly pages, top to bottom. But as I'll show you on the samples, you can use it with the bigger pages. You just have a little bit of a gap, and if you cut it, now can I put my hand over there, cut it off, you could make a smaller pocket for your smaller pages. So adjust it. They can be adjusted. I mean, there's a heart here. You could nip that heart out and make that. There's a little like flourish part there you could make as a corner. So again, when you first look at these, you think, oh yeah, I'll make a book, and then I'll make a book, you know, and you just keep adding and adding and adding.
And also, I love that the design, the scrolls are so versatile.
I love them both, but I'll be nothing but honest, I do like the scrolls. I do like the scrolls, but the tumbling leaves are very good, because if we're making like more masculine books, if you've got your gardeners, and you've got your horticulturalists and your men, and you can do like a more like an autumn birthday and stuff like that. Bring your leaves in. So it depends. I mean, flourishes, you tend to think of like elegance and weddings and babies, and then you've got your more down to earth with your leaves and your nature is what we tried to do with the 2. So the other thing you can do, as we briefly showed you, was a book stand. So all you do with this is you cut out your pairs left and right, depending on the thickness of your card. If you're using a thin card, you may want 4 layers. If you're using a thicker card, which is your 250s and above, you might only want 3 layers. But the principle's the same. So what you will do is you'll cut them out like that with your tabs on, left and right, however many you need. On the one that's going to be the back, that you stick together, you take off just the bottom and leave the back. And all the others, you take both tabs off. And it's literally a case of layering them up, one on top of the other, until you've got them all as thick as you want them to be. And again, this is where your wet glue comes in, because as it dries, you know, that goes really solid. So you end up with then 2 pieces that are ready to go. I would wet glue them together And that is your book stand done. If I bring that up there like that, you can see.
That's so gorgeous.
There we go, I'm looking up, we're still on our overhead, but you can see that they actually stand up, and that's where you can pop your books. So if I bring a few of those samples
and that's for mixed media even. I know it's not the start, but it kind of, that would be amazing, painted up black with gilding waxes.
Exactly. I mean, you imagine those on canvases and building them up. I mean, you can literally build them right up. I mean, Barbara had a bit of a frenzy here with the diamond box. I mean, look at this.
She likes a bit of a sparkle.
She does like a bit of a sparkle. She's always been known for her glitter and her gems. But you know what? I've literally looked at that and thought a tiara.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
I mean, do you know, if you're getting married and you've... but
for a hen do.
For a hen... Well done, that woman. Hen do. Yeah. I mean, do you see what I mean? So, like, we've stood there and done all these, and literally, as I've looked at it, I thought, tiara. I mean, obviously, you'd trim it down, but you could make a tiara for your hen do. Children's parties, princess crowns. Oh, my goodness.
You could die cut it, have it ready, so then each kid can decorate it as they
want.
Decorate
themselves. I like her. She's really good. She's got really, really good ideas. Now, we showed it you see-through, but of course you can do it all on the solids and just top it with your open. And again, let's bring the leaf in. So we've got our leaf one as well. So again, lots and lots of variations, and that's just absolutely fantastic, Paola, to come up with that as well.
And the stencils as well. You can stencil through them because they're open.
As if you make them thicker, if you want to keep them, you can make them. Oh, we're off.
We're off.
Then there was another one, and literally, this is when I was playing, because when I put copy paper over when I'm using like a big section of a page, I don't want the. It marks your paper, doesn't it? So I put a bit of copy paper over these without thinking, and I thought, that's made a nice pattern on there. So what you can do is take your wire and cut out your solid.
Yeah.
Okay.
By wire you mean the outer die that cuts that thing?
That would just... not this piece, sorry, not this piece. Your wire that cuts your solid piece, that cuts your solid, that cuts that piece.
Yeah.
That cuts that piece. So you will cut one of those. Then you will get your actual die ready to use, pop it on your machine, then line this up and put this on the top. Tape it down. Put your rubber mat or whichever shim in your sandwich that you need to do embossing. And when you send it through and it comes out the other side, you will end up with one of those and one of those.
Wow.
Now that's debossed. And embossed. So if we pop that back over the top there, we've created like a...
a beveled
concave.
Concave.
There we go, stalactites up. Concave, so that you could fill that with glitter and beads, or turn it over. Now that doesn't look a lot, does it? However, put one of those over the top, and now it's cushioning through.
Quilted.
Quilted. And we said with Hayley this morning, put a bit of gilding wax over the top of that.
Absolutely.
Then place that over the top. Imagine that in black and gold. And that was just me playing, ending up with something. That went through my machine like that. And I thought, oh, I wonder. So even we still playing, like you've just showed there, ideas have just come out.
They do. Now, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Julie, but I need to tell everybody that the box board... sorry, not the box board, the cards. Sorry, I'm going to grab it. You know the bundle that came with the cards, the classic carpet? Now, there it is. Now, it is limited stock. Please do check out your baskets for this or the other items because we are very busy. You're saving £10 in the bundle, £29.98, and you're getting of course, the heart that you cannot really see it there, but that there, I went with the perforating lines so you can put your patterns through it. Now 281780 is your item number, limited stock. Please do check out your baskets. Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. Everybody needs to know. The other thing with your, when we were making, and again, this was a happy accident, when we were making the, because you have to buy several pairs out for your book stands, we were looking at the waste that was dropping out, and because they're quite big, we realised that they would actually end up making flowers. Now that is the waste. There's a little corner, if I can just show you on screen. Look, that's that little corner that dropped out there. These are there, look.
And it's like a lantern as well, like a Christmas bubble.
I really do like this one because I hadn't thought about that either. Because we've done a Christmas tree. So yes, you could use those and stick them as lanterns on your Christmas tree, but we'll come back to Wonderful. I do like her.
Good. You too.
So this is just your wastes. I mean, that is a combination of that and that. Score them down the middle, fold them over, manipulate them. And you've got all these flowers that were hiding in those wastes. Yeah. We like to use everything that we've got and not... you might not have had the money that week to buy a flower dye, but you've bought this. Well, now you've got flowers as well as your flowers. So you've got your flowers on your main set and all your wastes as well. I mean, as I say, that literally was a happy accident. So I thought, that looks like flowers. Yeah. So there we go. So that was that. You might be a scrapbooker.
Oh, yeah.
Scrapbooker. Pop this on your scrapbook pages. And as I said this morning with Hayley, pop a photo of the grandparents or somebody special there. And that's the Christmas card that they sent you. Make those into tags.
Yeah,
and
like
pop that in. So that then goes into your scrapbook for your memories. Yeah. You were talking about books earlier on.
Yeah. Look at
Fold them over and do them as a solid. Now I've done 2 pockets on the front here. I've left one open, one solid. So you can put all your gift tags, your money wallets like we were saying. And here's your pages inside here. We've done those in a more paper because they're inside. So we formed a proper book. We've got another one there. There's your dies on the front. I've nipped it up, look, and I've made the corners out of it. And then we go inside with room for our pockets and our tags and our money wallets. So it's not just an open book, but if I show you the samples of the open book, so that's mixed in with the trellis from the other one and the corners. You could put, I've left these plain, but that's where you put your verses or you write to somebody or more photographs. As you can see, I've wrapped it round there. There's our tags in there, so that's that one. Bring that to the front. Now, I've used the ovals as tags in this one, so that's using your main set and your pockets. So there's tags there. Here's the solid, just the solid on its own, which gives you, that's the pad that we've got on the show today. That shows you your pad. There's your little frame that you created by sending them through together. Emboss.
So that would create a perfect cloud. You know when they ink through.
Do you know what? Again, yes, you are right. You put and you sponge over the edge to give you a gloss.
And it's just perfect, that one.
When's she on again? I want to work with her again because she's really, really good. But you're a crafter, aren't you? I mean, this is you are a crafter, exactly. So you know we've known you for a long time. Yeah. So these are your pages done with embossing folders. Now, this is a pink and black one here. I've done this onto the scalloped edges. Obviously, you can't wrap that round, so that's where you tilt them in and sit on the top and make your matching... There we go. Make your matching book stand. I mean, how wonderful that. It's all in one. Let's get on to some leaves. Again, Christmas cards. Use your tags to cut them out. And again there, look. Tinted. They were white, but I went over it with tinted. There's off again. Yeah. There's another idea coming.
Recipe book. And then they have the stand. So you're making the stand for
What can I say? Oh, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because and that you could print them out.
You could.
And you can sell several ones for your friends.
Wonderful.
And then a little present that has got you literally pennies with just the paper.
You've got the recipes. That's a really good idea. And as we said with the gardeners, put seed packets in the pockets as well. Yeah. We're trying to get all these in. Oh, we're okay for time. Yeah. So if I bring these in here, these are the same. No, has it fallen off the side? No, here we go.
Julie, can I just interrupt you 1 second? The cards and the hearts with the insert and the stamps now technical sellout. So it means that every item that we have got is allocated into people's baskets. If you do not check out your baskets now, it might empty it, refresh itself, and you might miss out. Please, please, please do check out your baskets to make sure that you get yours. And with that interruption, I'm sorry, Julie.
No, that's wonderful. It's good for people to know, but thank you so much. It really is a lovely pad. These are our flowers, but done differently. So that's how they come out normal flat, but take your quilling tool and turn the edges and you've changed them into a more chrysanthemum looking flower. So play around with them, play around with all your flowers. What about this for an idea? This is a wedding card. I know that's technically sold out, but it just gives you an idea. If you have already bought it, you can use it as a wedding card. There's the gates to the church. So you can use it as an open book. See, that doesn't fall, as I said, to the medium size of the page, but it doesn't matter. You can extend them or cut them down. So we've gone for that on there. This is just quickly to show you matting and layering. I've used my easy mat, which isn't on our show, but it's on the website. And last month's Rewind, if you look at us from last month, it was a back to basics show where all our easy mat and all our diamond trails are on there. So if you want a little refresh, it's on last month's show. But here we're talking about those butterflies again. Look, wire, flourish, frame. Put them together, you get your frame. So you can look an embossed effect, you can go fancy on top of solid, we can go fancy on top of that frame that you've created with the two. Cut all the edges off and it's flat. Perfect place for your gems. Oh, what else can be? Oh, I showed you that, didn't I? There's our box, like you showed with the other one over there. Create the box, put the same card inside. This, just very quick and simple, put your die, fold your card in half, just put it over the edge, send it through, and you get a slightly smaller but a little shaped card. And this, like I said, if I don't show you this, Mum will go crazy because like she spent many hours in the office doing this.
It's gorgeous.
Variation on a star card with our dies, all powerless baubles that she saw in the waste. Make yourself a star card. Again, it's 6 layers, which is 3 sets of pairs. And then you take layer, one on top of the other, and then they bend up, and that's how you've created a solid Christmas tree, which goes flat to post.
How spectacular is that as a Christmas card?
Exactly.
You can
send
it
that
on
to
the
somebody
post.
in your box, and then they can put that on the side. I mean, look at the colours you could do. You could do an icy one in whites and frosted.
Purples and, you know, silvers
well, you've got
as well.
your vintage one over there.
Oh, yeah, the vintage here.
I mean,
and
Paula's got the vintage
also
one.
for parties, again, we are thinking of weddings. I know that
Table centres.
But table centres, with the
Table
numbers in
centres,
here. That is just gorgeous. I love that.
I mean, stick feathers in the top. It'd be like a... If you put
gorgeous,
feathers coming out of the top,
here. That would be,
or a stand. That is the stand for your feathers. So you've got flowers coming out the top, and
that
feathers all done in paper. And this is your actual feet chandelier.
Also chandelier.
I didn't have time to do it. I've got some crystals that I'll try and get it done for the next show. On wires, and then a little chandelier type thing. I mean, literally, guys, you're going to just see stuff.
And we're also thinking, if you leave them a couple open, so you can put pictures on.
Exactly.
So like
table settings.
or just like photos for, you know, on some people's desks at work that they have gone like pictures in
I mean,
here.
literally within this hour. I mean, we've discovered 3 or 4 more ways just talking to you. I mean, if you're in a craft group and you're talking to each other, what about this and what about that? You literally, I'm going to take those ideas on board, literally, because they're really good. I love the clouds one for you. I mean, we've had Lavinia stamps on, and with her fairies and her backgrounds as well, and then put hers onto our pages and us, because we've spoken to her and she said that we can use her fairies, so I'm going to do some with her fairies on our pages too. So you intermix and intersell and intercross all your crafts on hochanda.
Basically, you have
we all help each other, don't we?
The foundations, you know, the essentials, the ones that cuts the base, the essential base, and then it's up to you at home with your favorite stamps that you may have. Maybe you have got just a very basic elements. It will work with them because you gave us the construction, the foundation.
We give you the basic, and then you fly with it.
Exactly. And you can imagine at home, just me sitting here, well, not sitting, standing up next to you, all the ideas.
Those ideas, absolutely brilliant. I'm going to write them down before I go home because I'll forget. Paola said.
No, but it is very, because as you know, I have been crafting for many years. And I remember because when I saw these dies for the first time, immediately I thought all the possibilities that I could think of. Then you came in, of course, went out to hochanda with Barbara, and then I kind of thought, oh, and this and this and that. Now you bring another one, the pockets with the scrolls and the tumbling leaves, which bring a whole new dimension.
Yeah, I mean, the leaves lend themselves to be decoupage, don't they? Snip those leaves out and really bring those pockets forward. Or
even just bringing little flowers on top of it. Just very simple.
Well, you've got your wastes, haven't you?
Exactly.
If you throw those wastes... Oops. Oh, there you go. Social distancing. Catch that.
Well, you did say throw. So you throw.
Well, those are your wastes. Put those on your leaves. And that was your
Absolutely.
wastes out of your pick and mix
Yeah.
because you bought the two.
Absolutely. Now, I need
Wonderful.
to thank you, Julie, so
You're
much
welcome.
for the inspiration, for bringing here to hochanda these amazing dyes. I kind of want to remind you to check out those baskets because that's the only way to get your dyes. Now, remember that we are 5 days of Christmas, so any purchase that you make today, you will get a £5 credit to your account to spend tomorrow on purchases above £30. It's a pick and mix that we have bundled, so you can choose the elegant scroll pockets, the tumbling leaves pockets. It's up to you, or maybe you don't have the pearly pages, which is an amazing versatile set. And remember that you have got the free box boards as well included in there. Thank you, Julie.
You're welcome.
It's been a pleasure.
And me.
See you soon, I
Okay,
hope.
bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.